This is Eagle Al, and today we'll be going over day 7 training camp highlights, clips, recap. We did sign 2 new vet linebackers. We did cut a linebacker, and we're going to talk about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about that goofy picture right there as well. That A.J. Brown and Hurts connection. And lastly, the fans, 50,000? And not going to be... let's get straight into it. All right, so let's talk about this picture right here, Carson Wentz, man. Carson Wentz is the definition of a bust. You should look in the dictionary, and when you look up the word bust, they should use his picture as a reference. When I say, man, top of the mountain, and he fell, literally top of the mountain and he fell. It's sad to see Carson Wentz like this. He got an Eagles helmet on. I thought that was a practice jersey at first, but nope, it's a Washington jersey and coat shorts. This is what Carson Wentz, this is the situation he's in. This is the situation the former MVP or could have been MVP. Man, the thing with Carson Wentz, I always felt bad because I felt like how we didn't push to get him the weapons and how we made bad decisions. Got to think, would Carson Wentz still be on the team? We had Justin Jefferson and DK Metcalf. You really never know. But what I can say is that Carson Wentz, man, he was just never the leader. No matter who he had, he was never the leader or had the intangibles Jalen Hurts had. You got to think, without Jalen Hurts, we really don't pull A.J. Brown. One of the main reasons A.J. Brown's like, you know what, Tennessee, send me to Philly, Jalen Hurts my dude, and we can make some things happen. Because he had the choice. He could have went to the Jets or he could have went to Kansas City. But he like, nah, man, Jalen, that's my guy. We really never had that with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was having a great year in Indy. I could make a case Carson Wentz was the best quarterback since Andrew Luck in Indy, and they got rid of him. You know why? The attitude. Remember Malcolm Jenkins spoke about it? That's just something he never had, man. And this is what it comes down to. This is what it comes down to, man. Posting goofy stuff on Instagram. But let's get into the news, man. Actually, I got to play this one. All right, let's get into it. All right, so let's just break down everything that happened, right? So the Eagles signed an O-lineman named Josh Andrews. Can't lie, don't really know nothing about him. I just know he's going to come in, bring more depth to the offensive line. But they cut basically Charleston Rambo. He went on IR, so I'm assuming he was hurt, and cut Davion Taylor. Speaking of Davion Taylor, man, another guy, man. If you look up the word bust, his picture should be next to it. Davion Taylor is just a guy we took a huge risk on. Super athletic, but really never played football. Hell, I seen this dude chase down Lamar Jackson. And let me say this. Football is such a unique sport, I will say. Such a unique sport. Because you could be so athletic, but if you don't got the technical skills or know how to play football, I don't care how fast you can run, how high you can jump, how quick you are to get sideline to sideline. If you can't play football, it's not going to work out for you. And Davion Taylor, to me, simply couldn't play football. And to be honest, I don't think he loved the game that much. Difference between him and Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata really wanted to learn and really wanted to be somebody in the NFL. Davion Taylor always had to question that, in my opinion. I felt like I was like, do this dude want to play football or not? And Eagles cut him. So Eagles cut him. I'm like, okay, we signed the old lineman, but we cut Davion Taylor as bad as a bust Davion Taylor is, I'm like, we still kind of need him because we thin that linebacker. And then boom, 2 hours later, Eagles signed not only Zach Cunningham, we signed Myles Jack too. Let's get both of them. Same thing we did with Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh. I remember when Jordan Davis got hurt, we need Ndamukong Suh or somebody, or even Joseph. We'd take either or, and a lot of content creators was breaking down why we would take this player over this player over that player. I was like, I'll just take both of them. Same thing with this. So now the linebacker room looked good. And they was also spotted at the open practice as well. The linebacker room looked good. You got Nakobe Dean, Myles Jack, Zach Cunningham. You have Murrow. You got Sean Bradley. You got Christian Ellis. Now that sound better. And I see a lot of, especially the opposition, oh, this is a knock on Nakobe Dean. Why would they need to sign more linebackers, this and that? I'm telling you, it's Nakobe Dean. I don't think that. I just honestly think it's a depth piece move, because I said this last year about the linebacker core. I'm like, I like TJ Edwards, I like Kaiser White, but if one of them get hurt, I don't believe I trust in a Davion Taylor or even a Sean Bradley to step up in that role. We need another guy. We end up going in the draft and getting a Kobe Dean. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm cool with that 3-man rotation. Now, if you go with Nakobe Dean and whoever else on the side, Myles Jack, Zach Cunningham, Kristen Ellis, Murrow. Now, cool with if somebody was to go down, you could rotate them, in my opinion. So, again, shout out to these dudes, man. They just made our linebacker core a lot better. So, yeah, they just made our linebacker core a lot better. So we don't have to worry about like if this guy go down. And literally, I kept thinking that. And what happens? Nakobe Dean got this weird ankle injury, goes down. Now you just rotating any and everybody. No offense, because I heard the undrafted free agent got some playing time as linebacker. A lot of people got playing time, but the linebacker core is weak. If one of them go down, the linebacker core get extremely weak. If Christian Ellis, Nakobe Dean, or even Murrow, one of them go down, the linebacker core is weak. At least with the safety room, here Kayvon Wallace stepping up. It's a lot of people stepping up, but far as the linebacker room, it's painful to watch. All right, so let's go over some of their stats, actually. Let's go over some of their stats. We're going to run through this really quick so we can talk about training camp. Zach Cunningham, these two are basically identical, right? So they both blitzing linebackers, and one thing Sean decided like to do is blitz his linebackers. So again, Zach Cunningham, 7 sacks, 5 QB hits, 34 hurries, and his 287 career pass rush and snaps. That's about 16%. It's really somewhat high for a linebacker. Again, that's what Sean Desai likes. Then you got Myles Jack, 9 sacks, 9 QB hits, and 34 hurries, and 356 career passing rushing snaps, which is about 14.6%. Both are really high. So, yeah, that's how they go get the quarterback. These the type of linebackers that go get the quarterback. But their flaws is coverage. So let's go over their coverage. Now, so Zach Cunningham coverage, 243 receptions allowed on 305 targets. That's a lot. And for 2,355 yards, 13 touchdowns, and he only had 1 interception and 2,268 coverage snaps. Myles Jack, 246 receptions allowed on 316 targets for 2,377 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions and 2,787 coverage snaps. And like Deion Bird said, neither player is really good at coverage. We got to keep it real. These dudes are flawed as well. They're not the best in coverage, but they can go get the quarterback. But again, I do like them as depth piece. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes, man. Let's get into training camp notes. Let's get into that. All right. Right. So what happened during public practice? So N'Kobe Dean and James Bradbury are still out. I think it's precaution, in my opinion. I think it's definitely precaution. Patrick Johnson was also out with an ankle injury, so it's good not to hear that it's not a knee or a calf, it's an ankle. So he should be back pretty soon. Marcus Mariota had a nice touchdown to Zacchaeus to start out with practice. Might be his best play of camp. So Marcus Mariota, great job. Great job. We need to hear that from my backup quarterback. I'm going into the next segment. This is something I don't want to hear because I was high on Ty Zentner, but I'm hearing both are looking terrible in camp. Terrible. And there's a guy named, that was acquitted. His name is Punt God. That's just out on the free market. I'm just saying. He was acquitted. He was found not guilty. Hell, he's looking to get the girl back that did what they did. Punt God is out there. I'm just saying. All right. Kayvon Wallace and Reed Blankenship get first snaps. Again, you hear Reed Blankenship, but you hear another guy playing beside him. Okay. Maro Jamo got hurt. Well, it looked like a little poke in the eye. He got poked in the eye, man, during the one-on-one drills. All right. Kerryon Johnson opened up the 11 on 11 drills with a sack. Continuing the solid camp. I like Kyron Johnson. Really quick. I think man got him like one of the top fastest linebackers, like with a 92 speed. Like Johnson is really fast. I know we're talking about how N'Kobe Dean get off that edge. Kyron Johnson is fast and he can get off that edge. All right. Undrafted free agent. Mekhi Garner has a real shot of making the 53-man roster and is having a great camp. I heard he lit up Rambo. Mekhi Garner is looking really good. So is Mario Goodwin. So is Josh Jobe. So is Keely Ringo. Like a lot of these dudes, man. We can't keep all of them. So it's going to be some tough cuts. It's definitely going to be some tough cuts, man. All right, Cam Jurgens got more reps at center while Tyler Steen got starting right guard reps. Interesting. Okay. I think that's how it's supposed to be, but if Cam Jurgens is the best guard, then let him start. But honestly, if you ask me, that's how it should be. Say Lane Johnson, Nolan Smith has been cited to work. Johnson typically wins, but Smith has a non-stop motor. Okay. All right, that's good. Lane Johnson versus Nolan Smith. If Nolan Smith has a non-stop motor against Lane Johnson, imagine him against these other dudes in our division. Imagine him against dudes we play outside of our division. Lane Johnson is the best right tackle in the league. So it's only what I can say, iron sharp as iron. Lane Johnson got to deal with this young, high motor guy, and Nolan Smith got to deal with this guy that been in the league for years that haven't allowed the sack in about 2-3 years. So best is the best for both. All right. Jalen Hurts threw a ball to the deep corner of the end zone to AJ Brown. Made a nice grab over Josh Jobe for the touchdown. The crowd goes nuts, or went nuts, according to him. The notes, all right. Terrell Edmonds, first time me really hearing his name. Looked to be coming in on the Eagles bit nickel package. Nice PBU on Devontae Smith. Offense was sloppy, okay, with 7 pre-snap penalties today. Don't want to hear that. I hate pre-snap penalties. I hate offsides. I hate neutral zone infractions. Those just the little things that can throw the rhythm off, but it's practice. We got to get that together. Right, Marcus Mariota had three straight bad overthrows during a 2-minute drill. Marcus Mariota. The Marcus Mariota, man. All right, I talked about the new signees. We signed the Myles Jack and also Zach Cunningham. Let's go over the Jalen Hurts stats. All right. He was 13 of 19, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Really solid day for Jalen Hurts for sure. I think Elliott Shore Parks gave him a B. Offense, again, was a bit sloppy, but Jalen Hurts had himself a day. Sidney Brown, closing speed stood out. I mean, yeah, Sidney Brown is an athletic dude. Yeah, that's definitely going to stand out. Patrick Johnson injury is not that serious. We talked about that. I think that was yesterday or 2 days ago. Yeah, so it's good to hear that. Got another edge rusher and 50,000, man. 50,000. I think when I went last year, it was about 30. Man, public practice was almost sold out. I wish I would have went, man. I heard it was a movie. Shout out to my guys that, hit me up on Instagram and stuff, told me about it, sent me stuff. And man, the one I decided I just can't go to. I should have made a way, but I just couldn't make it. And I heard it was a movie and I missed it. But that's all I got today, man. That's all I got. My thoughts on everything is that I can't wait for the season. I think we Super Bowl bound. I ain't gonna lie, man. I sound like a homer right now, but I think we Super Bowl bound. But I got stuff to back it up. You coming off a season amazing, bringing the same basically offense, but you added more power to it. Defense, yeah, we lost guys, but you add Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. Hell, you brought in some more linebackers. The safety position, I'm pretty sure we're going to address, but we still got a little depth there. The cornerbacks, depth. Better defensive coordinator. I never even seen him coach, but I just know he's a better defensive coordinator. Brian Johnson, basically same offense, plus, little tweaks here and there. So the offense damn near stay the same. Defense, we get a leader, and Sean Desai, head coach, is still the same. The problem with teams when they win and lose, they lose a lot. The Eagles did not lose a lot at all. We really did not lose a lot. So I personally think we Super Bowl bound. But this is almost a 20-minute video, if not a 20-minute video. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about public practice? Are we Super Bowl bound or I'm a homer? How do we feel about the Jalen Hurts connection, the kick, the punter problem, the sloppy play by the offense, but eventually picked it up? Just all this stuff. The Zach Cunningham, the Myles Jack signing. But this is Eagle Owl, man. Come on.